Om Vishnave Namah. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits. In the recent times I have made a number of videos. I have also started a new channel which is going to be exclusively in Hindi, and the first video has been uploaded. I'm going to share the link in the comment section. In case you are interested in following my videos in Hindi, you can subscribe to that channel. And in case you're new here, you can subscribe to this channel as well. Today this video is about Mercury or Buddha going retrograde for 20 days in the month of November. 10th of November, Mercury will move in a retrograde motion and it is going to stay in this motion till 29th of November. Now during this time between 10th of November till 23rd of November, it is going to be in Scorpio in Vrishchik Rashi, and between 23rd till 29th of November, it will make a transit in Libra. During this time, Mercury is conjoined with Mars. Thereafter, after 16th of September, Surya or Sun will also join this conjunction. There will be a 3 planetary conjunction in Scorpio. And between 23rd till 26th of November, Mercury will be conjoined with Venus. Venus is direct and Mercury is going to be retrograde. Both of them will be in a very powerful yuti, powerful yoga at this time. Nearly 80% of the time, Mercury is going to face retrogression as well as combustion during this time. It is a double whammy kind of a situation because Mercury is going to be very close to the Sun in terms of its degrees. So this is generally not a good indication with regards to the significations of Mercury, which gets lost. Mercury will be losing its signification, and this is where we must look at doing remedies related to Sun. If we were to channel Mercury accordingly, we must look up to Surya Dev here. We must look up to Sun. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio is a hidden sign. It is a deep sign. It indicates water element, but deep, dark waters. Mercury is communication. It is our intelligence. It is the significator of management, of friends. It is a very fast moving graha. It has a lot of youthful energies. Therefore, during this time, a lot of secrets can come out in the open. When Mercury goes retrograde in Libra, Libra is the sign of balance. It represents the marketplace. It represents the relationship. Some sort of business correction, market correction is expected. We could probably witness some highs and lows when it comes to the marketplace. And at the same time, this will be a test for relationship matter because a graha that goes retrograde is bringing unfulfilled purpose from the previous birth. Its proximity is a little bit more closer to Earth. Therefore, it has greater cheshtabal, which is the strength of desire. And this is where the 7th aspect of Mercury is going to be very strong. When it is in Scorpio, it will be aspecting the sign of Taurus, which is a very powerful 7th aspect. When it moves in Libra for 7 days, it will have a very strong aspect on the sign of Aries. So wherever these two signs fall in your chart, you can expect some quick results with regards to matters of these houses. At the physical level, you will read this transit from your ascendant sign. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. Mercury becomes your 3rd and the 6th lord. So it plays a very important role in growth related matters because these two houses have something in common. They are Upachaya bhavas. They represent growth. Mercury is not the most ideal planet for you. Now it is going to go retrograde in your 8th house. The Lord who rules your effort and daily routine, debts, diseases, your health and well-being, and also change is making a transit in the Ashtam Bhava or the 8th house. It is conjoined with your Lagna Lord Mars, who is in better strength, better dignity. When Mercury starts its retrograde motion on 10th of November, it will have a very strong aspect of desire on the 2nd house. Mercury would desire some quick results when it comes to financial matters. However, you have to be very careful with regards to signing any documentation where finances are involved or any paperwork, and also your joint assets with regards to your family. You can go through some positive changes in your diet. You can bring in some good changes in your lifestyle. You can also have some financial gains during this time, which could be linked to your work or some sort of change, or it is more or less linked to your job. On 23rd of November, Mercury will re-enter the sign of Libra And for the next 7 days, it is going to have a very strong aspect on your ascendant, which is you. So, of course, your communication will have a differentiated aspect. So, think before you speak. Be careful while engaging with people. Be careful with regards to your social media interaction and also in terms of written communication. Because you could be very impulsive when it comes to all communication matters. Your relationship can also witness some impulsive energies. This is where you have to be a little bit careful because Mercury will be in Maran Karak. It will get support of Venus. You would not have a very hard time or an extremely tough time when it comes to relationship, but there is certain communication gap which is expected. Overall, I would expect you to stay low key, lay low. Since Mercury is not the most ideal planet for you, it will not create detrimental effects when it goes retrograde, so you need not worry about it. It is bringing transformation. It will make you perhaps look at your past efforts and how you can take corrective actions. Continue to strengthen Mars, your Lagna Lord, and may you have a great transit ahead. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. Mercury Buddha is going retrograde for 20 days between 10th till 29th of November. It is going to move through 2 signs, initially in Scorpio, and then for 1 week it is going to be in Libra. Mercury is an important planet for you because it becomes your 2nd lord and the 5th lord. It is best friends with your Lagna Lord Venus. It will also have a conjunction with Venus, which is going to be a very important time period for you. Mercury plays an important role in all wealth related matters. It rules the 2nd house of your family, your speech, your accumulation, which includes accumulation of finances as well. It is the 5th lord of your future, positional success. We see mantras and progress from this house. So initially Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio in your 7th house. So be very careful and calculative and of course cautious about your relationship matters. Certain secrets can come out in the open and this could be linked to your past, which could cause some friction in your relationship, or you could have some behavior related issues within your relationship, regardless whether you are married or you're not married. For those people who are not married, this might not be the most ideal time to seek relationships. There's a 3 planetary conjunction and all these 3 planets are not very good in the 7th house when it comes to relationship matters. Surya brings dominance, Mercury brings brahmacharya. I mean, it's a bachelor graha and it does not have the domain knowledge of the 7th house, which is the responsibility of a relationship. And Mars, of course, is brahmacharya. It is a celibate graha and it also lacks the domain knowledge here. Now, when it goes retrograde, Mercury will have a very strong aspect on your Lagna, your 1st house. And this is where it wants you to transform your communication and at the same time work very well on your personality. You will be very communicative and at the same time you should also focus on listening to others because this could inflate your ego. Overall, I do expect you to take some right decisions, some right guidance, but you have to think through before you make some big decisions during this time because this time period could go wrong as well. 23rd of November, Mercury will move back to your 6th house where it will make a conjunction with Venus. So you have a small window wherein some new job related opportunities can come, or this time period you need to very quickly in a fast paced fix your daily routine, maybe give up some bad habits and adopt some good habits. Your health and vitality is going to improve. You will have a renewed focus on your health. You could also be in a position to repay certain debts. Mercury will have a very strong aspect on the 12th house, which promotes spirituality, which promotes donations and of course helping others, and at the same time increase your spiritual sadhana. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. Mercury is going retrograde and he is your Lagna Lord. He rules your ascendant, which is yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, and also the 4th lord of your happy space, your comfort space, your home, mother, your homeland. Whenever Mercury goes retrograde, and that happens about 3 times in a year, you are likely to have an impact regardless of your ongoing time period, dasha, antardasha. And this is happening in your 6th house. When Mercury goes retrograde, it has a very strong aspect of desire, which increases to a great extent. So while in the 6th house, it is conjoined with Mars. Mars has a greater strength here. However, it will help you somehow overcome opposition, overcome enemies, overcome competition. It has a very strong aspect on your 12th house. This time period, you must make some donations. You could donate things, you could make donations of white things or red color things. So white things could include rice, or red things which is red color fruits, or red pulses is also something which you can donate during this time. Now on 23rd of November, Mercury will move to your 5th house and it is going to stay there for the next few days. Then in December it moves back to the sign of Scorpio. Now for 7 days it will be retrograde in Libra. For 4 days it will be conjoined with Venus, who is your 5th lord. So they are forming a very powerful conjunction. It is a great time period for you to manifest things related to your future. You could get quick results. In spite of Mercury being retrograde, you can get quick results during this time. Mercury will have a very strong aspect of desire on your 11th house. So till 23rd of November, I do not expect much favorable results in your case. But after 23rd of November, yes, it is a very beneficial time because Mercury will be in great dignity and your 11th house will have particular attention of Mercury, wherein it wants you to leverage your communication to improve your social relationships, build your personal brand, and try to increase your wealth. You could have new ways of earning income because this is the bhava of income, and that is something which Mercury supports. Through communication means you will probably have some karma related to your friends as well. And when Mercury goes retrograde, you have to look back at your past decisions because he is your Lagna Lord. Those decisions that are related to yourself, towards your daily routine and your children. And you have to take some corrective steps, corrective actions in terms of these decisions, and may you have a blessed time ahead. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. Mercury or Buddha is going Vakri, retrograde. In the beginning of the video, I've given you some interesting insights in terms of how to read this retrograde transit. Mercury becomes your 3rd lord and the 12th lord. So it rules the house of valor, courage, your efforts, change. It is also the house of growth. It is also the house of younger siblings. And the 12th lord of your losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, your ability to become more self-aware, your ability to donate and help others, and this represents your bed comforts and foreign lands as well. Mercury will begin its retrograde motion on 10th of November in your 5th house in the sign of Scorpio. This transit, it is conjoined with Mars, which is the 5th lord. So any efforts that you will put, you are likely to see results with regards to these efforts. Now you have to look back at your past, do some reflective exercise in terms of the efforts that you've put, and also some change that you have already undergone few months ago. You have to do some reflection exercise there. Mercury will have a very strong aspect on your 11th house during this time. Now, when it has an aspect on the 11th house, it is trying to create new sources of income. Mars also has an aspect on the 11th house, and Sun will also have an aspect on the 11th house. So when there are lots of energies there, so from a wealth related point of view, it is a good transit. Your expenditure is also likely to increase, but when the expenditure increases, so does the income. Thereafter, on 23rd of November, Mercury will re-enter the sign of Libra, which is in your 4th house. This is where it will demand you or ask you to step out of your comfort zone. You could have some travel. In case you've been trying to make a visit outside of your home country or away from your birthplace, this time period you can make a visit to a place which could be a little bit away from where you are. You could probably also do some changes, make some changes in your house. Mercury will have a very strong aspect on your 10th house. By the power of your communication, you are bound to build workplace relationships, and this should be the focus. The need of the hour for you is because there are mixed energies of Venus as well as Mercury. Both of them are aspecting your 10th house, communication, and you build your workplace relationships through communication. This time period, you can also get a new opportunity, new work related opportunity in case your Dasha, Antardasha is supportive. You can come in contact with your old colleagues, old people, and I wish you the very best. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. Mercury or Buddha is going retrograde. Mercury rules the 2nd and the 11th house in your case. So in financial matters, it has a very important role to play. It is friends with the Lagna Lord Surya, so it holds a neutral disposition. 2nd lord of your accumulation, your family, your speech, what you consume, what you eat. It is your storage space. 11th lord of your income, material gains, material comforts, your wider social network, your friends, and also bigger enemies are seen from the 11th house. 11th house is also the house of Maya or illusion. Buddha, Mercury is going to make a retrograde transit initially in your 4th house. And during this time, it will have a very strong aspect on your 10th house, because when it goes retrograde, the 7th aspect becomes particularly strong. 7th from its position, it will have a strong aspect. It will also be under the beneficial aspect of Jupiter, who's your 5th lord. So things are likely to be out of your comfort zone. So you have to step out. In case you don't, you will be pushed to step out of your comfort zone. So that could be there at the workplace. One thing where you can struggle for the next 20 days is to have a balance between your work and your family life, your work and home. So you need to prioritize things. Mercury's strong aspect on the 10th house will expand your communication at work. You will be very vocal, you will be assertive, but be very careful in terms of your written communication, because once you send an email out, once you sign a document, once you sign a paperwork, it will be very difficult for you to retract it. Okay, and perhaps you have to be careful. Do not end up venting out your emotions in written communication throughout the transit, even when Mercury enters your 3rd house, because that is also the house of communication, and that will happen between 23rd till 29th of November, where it will also be conjoined with Venus. Now it is away from Jupiter's aspect momentarily, and it will have Mercury will have a strong aspect on your 9th house. So this promotes Bhagya. Your fortune is going to be elevating. You can go on a journey. This journey can be spiritual in nature. This journey can be undertaken with your family. So you could have travel, and there will be some financial reason that is associated to this travel. So if it is business travel, that time period could be quite good for you. Don't worry about Mercury going retrograde. You can still sign paperwork, you can still decide, you can still go on a journey. There is no harm or there is no risk factor involved. That would depend on your ongoing time period as well. And my best wishes to you. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. Mercury's retrograde transit for about 20 days period. It's a short period, but it always has an impact. And 3 times a year, Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury becomes your lord of the ascendant, Lagna lord. It represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your intelligence, and your decision-making capacity. Also the 10th lord of your work, your Karya Bhava, profession, your job, or the kind of business that you do. So whenever Mercury goes retrograde, regardless of your dasha, antadasha, you have to be careful generally, you have to be cautious, because it will have some or the other impact on you. This time Mercury is under the influence of other grahas. It is under the influence of Mars, Jupiter, Sun, Venus. So initially it is happening in your 3rd house in the sign of Scorpio. So this is where it is looking back or probably having an effect on the 2nd house. So it will make you go back in the past, revisit some of your financial decisions, revisit your family ties and how you can continue to strengthen these ties. Mercury is going to have a very strong aspect on your 9th house, which promotes fortune, which promotes Bhagya, because that's your Lagna lord, and at the same time you will have some karma related to your father. So some gap could be there with regards to communication with your father or your guru. You have to be a little bit careful. In case you are studying or probably in education pursuits, this time period can bring some blockages, can also bring some irrelevant or unnecessary journey. So please watch out for this time period. Thereafter, on 23rd of November, it moves back to Libra. It will be conjoined with Venus, your 2nd lord, and the 9th lord. It is forming a very powerful Dhan Yoga. You can have some financial gains, financial development can be seen during this time. If in case your dasha antadasha is supportive, it is having an aspect, 7th aspect on your 8th house, which promotes transformation. Anything can happen all of a sudden. So there could be a sudden shift of finances. Suddenly you might stop eating something and maybe start eating something else. You'll bring in a sudden change in your diet. This could happen. It could make you very impulsive. Avoid impulsiveness with regards to your money matters. Purchasing something, buying something. This time period you have to do some self-reflection. Try to understand your core strengths and how you can build on your strengths during this time. And you'll be very vocal. You will focus a lot on building relationships through your speech. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. Mercury or Buddha is going retrograde this month, and it is joining the retrograde season along with Saturn as well as Jupiter. Now, he is your 9th lord and the 12th lord, so becomes the Bhagyesh or the lord of the fortune. Long journeys are seen from this house. Higher education, spiritual education is seen from this house. Your father, guru, mentor, teachers are seen from this house, and this is also the house of Dharma, your religion. 12th lord becomes the lord of expenditure, losses, your higher self-consciousness, your ability to be more self-aware. Now, initially in this 20-day period, Mercury will be retrograde in Scorpio, which is the second house, conjoined with the second lord Mars and the 11th lord Surya. So there is a powerful, nice Dhan Yoga that is getting activated in your second house, because the 2nd, 9th and 11th lord are conjoined. So you can expect some financial gains, some financial developments over the course of next few days. If there was a delay in something, a payment, or probably some blockages that you were facing, you could see some positive developments there, because Mercury will have a great strength and it is going to protect you, your well-being, your health and your longevity as well by the 7th aspect on the 8th house. It will protect you from any sudden events. Thereafter, on 23rd of November, it re-enters your ascendant, where it gains directional strength. However, it is going to be retrograde. It will be conjoined with your Lagna Lord Venus. You will have a renewed sense of confidence for about week 10 days, wherein you can take some important decisions. Regardless of the fact that Mercury is retrograde and even Saturn is retrograde, in case your time period is supportive, you can. This Mercury will have a very strong aspect on your 7th house. So it will enhance communication in relationships. The influence of both Mercury and Venus can also incline you or encourage you towards a new relationship in case you are looking forward to stepping into a relationship. In case you're already married or in a relationship, you will be able to strengthen your relationship. Your health needs to be under check towards the end of November. You have to be a little bit careful with regards to your lifestyle, with regards to your eating habits, and of course, whatever you do on a daily basis, do not overexert yourself. Take proper rest. This is going to be my piece of advice. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. Mercury, Buddha, the Prince, is going retrograde between 10th till 29th of November, about 20 days, in the sign of Scorpio and also in the sign of Libra. It will re-enter Libra. How this is going to have an impact on you? It's a quick transit here. Mercury becomes your 8th and the 11th lord. So it doesn't have a great lordship. It is a malefic in functional nature. Now, its natural nature would depend on the natal placement and how it is influenced by other positive grahas in your chart. Being the 8th lord, it is responsible for longevity. It is also responsible for sudden events, sudden things, and of course, sudden changes, adversities, and how you overcome adversities. Being the 11th lord, yes, it is responsible for your gains, for your wider social networks, but it has the capacity to bring bigger enemies and bigger obstacles in your life as well. Mercury initially is making a transit in your ascendant. Now, the good news for you is it is under the great influence of Mars and also Surya, and both hold a good lordship. One is your Lagna lord, the other is your 10th lord. Mercury gains directional strength in the Lagna, and it is going to be conjoined with Surya, who is the Karaka for Lagna, for a few days. So you could expect some positivity when it comes to your temperament. Mercury will also be under combustion for most of the time during this transit. So therefore, Surya and Mangal have a greater say. So you need not worry about this transit. Initially, Mercury will have a strong aspect on the 7th house. It desires you to bring communication in your relationship, improve, strengthen your relationship, and also bring in a sense of consistency as well as loyalty in your relationship, because your 7th house is under the influence of Mars, Surya, Mercury. So of course, you will be very busy when it comes to dealing with other people, when it comes to dealing with your spouse. In case you're not married, you'll be very busy dealing with all the other people in your life. Thereafter, on 23rd of November, Mercury will re-enter Libra in your 12th house conjoined with Venus. Now you have a good opportunity window to improve your sleep because your 12th house has some natural benefic presence. So you could improve your sleep, you could increase your spiritual practices. Mercury will have a 7th aspect of desire on your 6th house. So it wants to bring some quick changes in your daily routine and how well it is aligned with your personal priorities and how it can help you have gains of all kinds. Yes, after 23rd of November, you have to be very careful of your expenditure because that is likely to increase. Avoid impulsive decision making in terms of your buying. You might expense on entertaining others that could be detrimental towards your finances. So take care of yourself. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. Mercury or Buddha is going retrograde between 10th till 29th of November for about 20 days. He is your 7th lord and the 10th lord. Mercury has two kinds of role for you. One, of course, he's the Kendra or quadrant lord. Secondly, he also becomes the Badak Graha or the one who rules obstacles. Mercury is responsible for your partnerships, your business, those people who you follow or those people who follow you, and he is representative of your spouse, marriage, and of course harmony in life. Being the 10th lord, he plays a very important role in work, your profession, your actions, your duty, what you do in order to survive and sustain yourself in this world. So initially this transit is in the 12th house, it will go Vakri. I would expect Mercury's transit to reduce any kind of obstacles for you and make you feel more spiritual. You have to live a very spiritual life, and of course your spiritual practices should increase over the next few days because 12th house has very heavy energies. Mars is also making a transit, creating Viparit Yoga. Surya, your 9th lord, will also make a transit in the 12th house. So of course you need to increase your spiritual sadhana. It is going to have an aspect on your 6th house where Mercury desires to bring some quick, fast changes in your daily life and focus on your health, your vitality. Your health and vitality has to be the number one priority in the month of November. The rest can be taken care of. Now on 23rd of November, Mercury will re-enter Libra. That is happening in your 11th house. So you can expect some work related gains because your 10th lord and the 11th lord are conjoined in the 11th house. So this could have a positive impact on your finances when it comes to work. But since there are too much Rajas energies in your 11th house, I would urge you to stay away from extravagance, stay away from indulgence of any kinds, particularly when you're having get-togethers with your friends. This time period, your expenditure will also increase. You would like to organize social gatherings as long as you expense on the right things, which is yourself, your family, your dharma, and the right deeds. It is good for you. However, if you can probably avoid unnecessary expenditure, that is totally your call. Mercury will have a very strong aspect on the 5th house. It is a very good time for future planning. Pen down your goals and things that you were to do in the near future, and you are expected to have some sort of financial rewards over the next few weeks. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. Mercury or Buddha's transit, that is now going to go retrograde in Scorpio and also in Libra. Mercury is an important planet for you because he becomes your 6th lord and the 9th lord. Being the 6th lord, it rules your daily routine, debts, diseases, your health and wellness, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. We also see job from the 6th house. Being the 9th lord, he represents and rules your bhagya, fortune, dharma, long journey, higher education, spiritual education. This is also the house of your father. Buddha is making a retrograde transit initially in your 11th house where there will be a 3 planetary conjunction. Buddha will come in contact with Mars and with Sun. Here Mars has a greater say in this conjunction. However, this is also a Dhan Yoga because your 9th and 11th lord are conjoined in the 11th house. Mercury will have a very strong aspect on the 5th house. When it goes retrograde, it has high sense of desire. So this time period is good for your children. You definitely have some karma towards your children, and of course your children can have some progress. In case you don't have children, this time period could be supportive for you to start your family or probably plan your family. This time period you can also set some goals. These goals could be of short term in nature. or you could look at some quick results that you can bring in your life. So the pace is relatively going to increase in the coming weeks. Thereafter, Mercury will re-enter Libra in your 10th house, where there is a powerful Dharma Karma Yoga that Mercury and Venus are going to form. Though it will only last for 4 or 5 days, Mercury is going to be retrograde for a week. It will spend a few days in the sign of Libra, which is a very positive transit when it comes to your work related matters. And you would like to reconnect with your spiritual practices, with your dharma, looking back in the past what your practices were, how it had a sort of benefit on you, and how you can continue with these practices. Mercury will have a very strong aspect on your 4th house, which promotes mindfulness, which promotes comfortable living, which promotes an equal focus at home besides work. But definitely after 23rd of November, you can expect significant developments and most positive developments when it comes to work and also your fortune. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. Mercury or Buddha making a transit and a retrograde transit for 20 days in the sign of Scorpio and also in the sign of Libra. How this is going to have an impact on you? He becomes your 5th lord and the 8th lord. Being the 5th lord, it is the most important planet for Aquarius ascendants, because 5th lord, I always say, and I stand by my statement, it is the most important graha that must be remedied in case it is weak or ill placed in the chart. 5th lord is the house of your future, it is position success, it is the house of power, authority. It is also the house of Gyan, creativity and mantras, whether mantra based remedies will work for you or not. Being the 8th lord, it is responsible for sudden events in life, sudden changes, ups and downs, your adversities. We call it Nija dosha or your weaknesses. This is also the Ayush Bhava, where we see longevity from. So initially it is making a transit in the 10th house. Mercury is the significator of the 10th house. It is conjoined with a Digbali Mars, and it will also come in contact with the Digbali Surya, though Mercury will go combust. But at the same time, if you do sun related remedy, you can have maximum gains when it comes to work related matters. You have to learn something at work. You'll be very overly energetic when it comes to your office context, when it comes to your workplace, and you have to channel this energy in some manner. You'll be very much communicative with others. You will demonstrate leadership and lots of energy as well. This Mercury is aspecting your 4th house, which promotes mindfulness. So Mercury wants you to slow down a bit, slow down your pace, take a step back, reflect and prioritize things that are related to your home and home related matters or your assets that might need some decision during this time. Mercury is going to move back to your 9th house on 23rd of November, where it will come in contact with Venus for only 4 or 5 days. However, this promotes Bhagya. They are forming a beautiful yoga in the 9th house. Both of them are trinal lords for you, and you could expect some significant developments. Fortune is going to be favorable for you. You could go for higher education. You can go on journeys. Travel is going to bring fruitful results. It is going to make you feel happy. Mercury is aspecting 3rd house, so is Venus. Journeys are inevitable. You would undertake a journey, and at the same time you can start some new ventures or new projects during this time as well, regardless of Mercury being retrograde. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. Mercury or Buddha going retrograde for 20 days between 10th till 29th of November. He is your 4th lord and the 7th lord. So he rules the Kendra houses, and he also becomes the lord of obstacles or the Badak Graha, because you're a dual sign and the 7th lord becomes lord of obstacles. Mercury being the 4th lord, it rules your happy space, your comfort space, your home, your sense of protection, your mother. And the 7th lord, which represents the Jaya Bhava. We see peace and war. The people who you follow or the people who follow you. Your spouse is seen from the 7th house, and your attitude towards the outer world of people, things and events is also seen from the 7th house. Mercury's retrograde transit initially is in Scorpio in your 9th house. Your 4th lord, 9th lord, Mars and 6th lord, Surya, Sun will be making a conjunction. Mars has the greatest say in this conjunction, so fortune is still protected. I would expect you to not have so much obstacles during the Mercury's retrograde transit. It is going to reduce the obstacles. However, you should be prepared with regards to any sudden events or sudden things that you could experience, and at the same time how you can encounter and overcome these adverse situations in life. Circumstances could go adverse and eventually you will rise. You have to stick to your dharma. You could be inconsistent, you could probably have some issues, or you might try to move away from the path of righteousness. This is where you have to be little bit careful. On 23rd of November, Mercury will re-enter Libra, which is your 8th house, and this is where it will be conjoined with Venus. It will have a very strong aspect on your 2nd house during this transit, wherein it promotes financial development. It promotes some quick wins when it comes to financial gains, when it comes to close ties with your family or your communication with the family. And this is something which you have to probably make the most during this time. You have to take care of your health, well-being, your lifestyle. That has to be particularly taken into account. You have an opportunity to bring in a shift in your lifestyle, and that can happen in a very quick manner, in a very fast manner. Be careful of what you eat, what you consume, your diet, your lifestyle has to be under check. And of course, this could bring in some positive momentum as well. But be prepared for encountering any sudden things, sudden events that can occur in your life, and my best wishes to you. So friends, this was yet another unique, short, crisp, precise video on Mercury's upcoming retrograde transit in the sign of Scorpio, in the sign of Libra. This is the month where the retrograde season is going to be at peak. I hope you liked this video. Stay tuned on my channel for more such videos on Vedic astrology and important transits. Thank you very much. God bless you all.